right? We'll climb the wall of worry and we'll be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars for a Bitcoin end of the year into next year, but it's not going to be without some pain, I think. And people would be very silly to think that it's just every day after they post a flows in Asia time, the price ramps 5%. I think we get to $1 million Bitcoin, at least like on a tick, right? I think we can get there. I don't think we have a big enough imagination about how high we could go, because the global bond market is just so massive. And when the bond investors make a decision collectively that they don't like being in a particular market, they will stampede into something else, and it will cause reverberations around the global economy. And thankfully, we have this thing called crypto. We have a little small door, and some people can be saved. Most people will not. But those of us who hold these assets, I think, are in for some massive gains in fiat terms.
With Bitcoin's recent price correction, more investors have been worrying about its future. But amid all the FUD is Arthur Hayes sharing his extremely bullish outlook for Bitcoin in his latest interview. Despite hurdles along the way, Arthur Hayes truly believes that Bitcoin could soon experience tremendous growth, reaching prices worth hundreds of thousands of dollars by the end of this year and into 2025. He even predicts that Bitcoin will reach a massive price of $1 million per coin. He explains that if bond investors collectively decide to move away from bonds and go into Bitcoin, their enormous shift could significantly impact the global economy. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video where Arthur explains how ridiculously high Bitcoin's price could go. But before we jump into the interview, with the crypto market hitting new heights in 2024, if you're serious about getting involved in the space, you need to be using the best exchange to buy and sell your crypto. That's why I want to let you all know about M2, the latest crypto exchange taking the world by storm straight out from the crypto innovation hub of Abu Dhabi. With Kevin O'Leary leading the charge as one of its biggest proponents, M2 isn't just another crypto exchange. It's your gateway to the global crypto market with unparalleled security, user-friendly interfaces, and cutting-edge trading features. Whether you're a seasoned vet or just starting out, M2 offers a seamless trading experience with a wide range of cryptocurrencies, advanced trading tools, and real-time market analysis to keep you ahead of the game. And the best part, M2 is committed to regulatory compliance, ensuring your trading is secure and backed by the trustworthiness Abu Dhabi is known for. On top of this, M2 has virtually the best staking rewards in the entire crypto space, with users being able to earn up to 12% on their USDT and 10.5% on their Bitcoin and Ethereum holdings. That is insane. M2 is currently hosting a $300,000 MMX community rewards competition for new users. The best part, you can win a guaranteed share of the prize pool. All you have to do is follow these 3 steps. Sign up to M2 and verify your account. Hold 200 MMX, the M2 exchange token, to win a guaranteed share of the $300,000 USDT prize pool. And 3, the more MMX you hold, the larger your prize will be. If you haven't already, use the first link in the description to join M2 today and be part of a trading revolution that combines the incredible perks for users with the regulatory compliance and trustworthiness of Abu Dhabi. Hit the first link to begin your journey with M2 today. Now, back to the video.
I mean, it's the same thing that everyone has been talking about since 2009, like too much debt, not enough economic progress. And so I think we're reaching the end of the line for the sovereign bond market. And so people are starting to wake up and realize that, like, why do I own these government bonds? Especially if you take a look at 10-year bond yields across the world versus the nominal GDP rate in whichever country you're in. Most likely you have a negative real yield, meaning the government says, please give me money to do stuff. And then government's not willing to pay you at this rate that the economy is growing. So it's a bad fucking deal. But now for the first time in human history, we have this thing called Bitcoin and crypto, and a few clicks on your phone, and all of a sudden you've taken that fiat that's going to be infinitely debased, and now you own some of the hardest assets that we've ever created as human civilization. So that's the backdrop. Obviously, as money keeps leaking out into Bitcoin, the price rises. That's why it's up however many tens of thousands of percent since 2009. And the banking system has finally realized that the people who hold all these bonds are like, I don't want to do this anymore. And that's why I believe you're seeing this renewed push for ETFs, right? The wrinkle clowns, it took them 10 years of trying, they still don't have a fucking ETF. That started in 2013. And then Larry Fink comes in June 2023, puts an application in, boom. 6 months later, he gets an ETF, and Fidelity and all the other guys. So that tells you something. The establishment wants to hold your crypto because it doesn't want your money to leave the system. So whether, you buy a Bitcoin ETF or gold ETF or S&P 500 or, NASDAQ 100 or NVIDIA or whatever, right? Just don't leave our little system. Don't actually have economic freedom, financial freedom. We'll give you a derivative called the Bitcoin ETF, stuff your money in there. Now, for some people, obviously, they have no choice. If your retirement account, you can only invest in certain things. The approved good assets that the government tells you are good for your retirement. Of course, owning physical Bitcoin isn't one of those things, but now you can buy this ETF, and we're seeing some of those flows. Or if you're a fund manager and you don't want to update your PPM to add a new asset class, and that's going to be a pain in the ass, now you can onboard the negative correlation and high volatility, good Sharpe ratio of Bitcoin returns to your portfolio. Just go buy one of these products. So that's kind of what we're seeing. We're seeing all this money flow into the system. It's obviously gives a big confidence boost, especially to like the real people who hold real crypto, not on a derivative product. And now we're seeing fucking dog coins go nuts on Solana every weekend. It's the same stuff. It's a wealth effect. It's fun. I'm super bullish. Obviously, we've had a bit of a pullback. I'm sure we'll have more pullbacks, but the trend is set. We're not deviating from it. Let me know when the politician in your particular part of the world is saying, I'm going to balance the budget. I'm going to cut government services because we've spent above our means for the past, 40, 50 years. Let me know when that happens. And then maybe I'll change my opinion on whether or not there's going to be more money printing to keep these bankrupt governments afloat. Detractors of all of these flows into Bitcoin, I'll reference Jim Bianco. He had a great presentation. So his point, and I think it's a valid point, is we've had a bunch of people who now can buy these Bitcoin ETFs, very simple and easy. And what are they going to do when they get their first Darth Maul candle, when Bitcoin's down 50% in 2 minutes, and whoa. Yeah. This is fucking crypto. Are they going to run for the hills? Are these flows as sticky as we would like to believe? It's just people ticking boxes on their 401k forms or retirement forms and just letting that money flow in every month when they get their paycheck. I don't know. So we're going to have to see that. We will get that correction? Absolutely. And we're going to test this notion of how sticky are these flows? Are the persistent inflows that we see every day into this, whatever the 12 ETFs, will that switch to a net outflow if we get a massive correction in the price? And I think that's going to tell us a lot about how strong this narrative of institutional money, retail money on the sideline that's in, vehicles that couldn't invest in Bitcoin previously, but now can. What's their sensitivity to the price movement of Bitcoin? So we don't know that answer. We'll find out. Sure enough, hopefully, they're diamond handing that shit like we all are on the physical side. But I think that's going to be the first real test of this bull market, is how fickle are these new investors? Are they here for 1 to 2 years, or is it I bought Bitcoin, I made 30%. Thank you very much. I'm going to go back into NVIDIA. I don't know. So I think that's going to be the first real test of this market. Maybe the having is a buy this, a sell the news type of event. It happens. We got to get a correction, washes some people out. We see how things perform. We also have what's going to happen with reverse repos in the US, and is that going to be drawn down sometime in April, May, and what's going to be the response for, the US Treasury and the Fed. So we have some things. I still am confident that there's always some things, right? We'll climb the wall of worry, and we'll be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars for a Bitcoin end of the year into next year, but it's not going to be without some pain, I think. And people would be very silly to think that it's just every day after they post the flows in Asia time, the price ramps 5%. I think we get to $1 million Bitcoin, at least on a tick, right? I think we can get there. I think if we really see a concerted global effort by all the major economic blocs to financially repress people into buying their bonds, and we have this little door of crypto open, in the bond market is what, I don't know, however many tens or hundreds of trillions of dollars, right? Yeah. We don't need all that money to come into crypto. We can see it a little bit. And remember that it's a marginal price. It's not about the whole market cap. The last price is only a Satoshi trades at $1 million Bitcoin, but that'll be the last price, right? That's how it works in markets. It's all about at the margin. So at the margin, if we have global fixed income investors who hold bonds, who are I'm getting a bad deal, at least I'm going to allocate some of this money into crypto. then I don't think we have a big enough imagination about how high we could go, because the global bond market is just so massive. And when the bond investors make a decision collectively that they don't like being in a particular market, they will stampede into something else, and it will cause reverberations around the global economy. And thankfully, we have this thing called crypto. We have a little small door, and some people can be saved. Most people will not. But those of us who hold these assets, I think, are in for some massive gains in fiat terms. And that comes with a whole host of issues in and of itself. Is that the right way to value your portfolio or not? It's more of a philosophical question. But I do believe that if we really hit this sovereign debt bubble, if that is deflating this cycle, then it's going to be so ridiculous how high this stuff goes.
So there's Arthur Hayes with his latest Bitcoin insights. For the first time in history, individuals now have an alternative to traditional financial systems through Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. By converting fiat money, which is subject to devaluation, into crypto, individuals can own what Arthur describes as some of the hardest assets ever created by civilization. Arthur also acknowledges that the Bitcoin market may face corrections and tests the resilience of new institutional and retail investors. He tells us to observe whether the recent inflows into Bitcoin are as stable as we had hoped for, and how these new investors will react to significant price drops. Ultimately, Arthur is extremely bullish on Bitcoin's potential, suggesting it could reach up to $1 million per coin. He bases this on the enormous size of the global bond market and the possibility of a small portion of bond investors moving their funds into cryptocurrencies. Such a shift could have a profound impact on the global economy and lead to substantial gains for those holding crypto. If you found this content helpful, don't hesitate to subscribe and like the video. Your engagement helps us continue to bring you insightful and timely content. Anyway guys, hope you all enjoyed today's video and that provided you with some value. I'll see you all in the next one, and as always, all the best.